be advised, especially you parents. If you are in your vehicle driving your kids to school, if your kids are around and you are listening to us, just beware that what we are discussing can be a bit sensitive and discomforting. So take care of your kids whilst we discuss this issue.
So if you are driving your child to school, turn down the volume of the radio set. Go off. When you drop them off, you can raise it. If you have a child close to you, you have to find a way so that you have to determine how you want to train your child for now. So we don't have to. What we will say today might not be helpful to that cause. Well, first, okay, before you even play what you want to play, okay, let me first. So Nancy to my right, the woman is back in the middle, Caro in the middle, and then Aisha on the left as always.
Caro with her Bible.
Aisha, good morning.
Good morning.
It looks like I haven't all week.
Yeah, the whole week I haven't seen you.
Okay, but you've been coming.
Yes,
just
I have.
that I think I've left earlier before.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Hope you've had a lovely week.
Blissful one. I've been waiting for this morning. Oh God, God, I thank you.
This is the kind of topic you.
I love it. I can see my pose.
Carol, how are you?
Yami Adam, Prof. No say.
Yeah, I'm also fine. Yes.
Prof. Yeah, somehow.
You want to state your? I'm just greeting you. I didn't say you should say anything. So, a moment. Let's just share with you some thoughts that have already been expressed on this matter.
Sex before marriage or marriage before sex?
Sex before marriage.
Why?
Well, if you are buying a car, you need to know the mileage of the car. So I can't buy a car without not testing. I need to do test drive. I need to know what I'm buying. So yeah.
I think sex before marriage.
Why?
I think it helps you to know the person better. Because what if you get married and you guys are probably doing it and you're not feeling it?
I think it's best to know how the woman performs in bed before you try to get married. Because what if you get married and get disappointed by how she performs? Because most married men cheat up on their spouse because of bad sexual habits and other bad sexual desires. So I think sex before marriage is okay.
Based on my opinion, I have to go by what the Bible has said. And me thinking that in case there might be some problem with a lady or something else, that one it's outside the word of God. So based on my idea, I have to marry the lady before I have sex with that person.
I think I'll go for sex before marriage. Why? Why? Because you should know your partner better before you both get together.
Marriage before sex.
Why?
Because to me, believe it. I was so trained. Now worry and son on your ban. No matter what the relationship is. If you are saying you want sex, that means you don't want a woman for who she is, but because you want to have sex with her.
I will go for marriage before sex. Why? Because normally, even the Bible says that we shouldn't commit or we shouldn't fornicate. Sex before marriage is a form of fornication. And then even though of late Ghanaians, like the youth, we are involved in boyfriend, girlfriend things, and even that it's wrong. I think that the normal thing should be marriage before sex. If you you can't go in for a lady and then have sex with her, and then later on you would say, okay, she's not your life partner, and you would drop her along the line and go in for another person. But I think that marriage before sex is the best thing.
Like you have to at least have a feel of what you are going in for before. Though it's a bad idea, but at least you have to try it.
Except the man who said, who has his eye fixed on heaven.
Heaven is
all the
goal.
men seem to all agree on one point. But before we continue,
okay,
just let me do. If not, I'll forget. So a happy birthday to Samira to Musa Morning. of New Hope School, Latebi Okoshe, is from the staff and management of New Hope School to you. Samara to Musa Morning of New Hope School.
Let me just add this one. A happy birthday. It's a belated one to Alhaji Ishaq Bashir, and this is from Hajia Akumapa. Alhaji Ishaq Bashir, the Moshi Youth Chief of Accra. That's him. Happy belated birthday to you from Hajia Kumapa in Medina. I was going to add a message from what's the name? Sapon in France.
Okay.
He says, good morning. You don't compare marriage to buying something on the roadside.
Okay.
Marriage is sacred and therefore be respected. Be a good friend for some time, a year or two or more, so you can actually know who you will be getting married to. So I say get married to your best friend. Sapon from France. Okay, and please, ask the animal rights lawyer if he will be happy if his daughter will be getting tested from left, right, center.
Thank you. That's a good question. That's a good question from Sapon in France. The animal rights lawyer will have to come and respond to that question in due time. There's Eric here who is excited to see the beautiful faces we have in the studio today. This morning, if you are listening to us on radio and you are not watching Facebook, you are missing 70% of this thing. You have to just come and see the faces on parade this morning. So they should put the camera on them and forget me. Media have nothing to say. So Bismarck Azura says I should start with Nancy. Please, what is your candid opinion about this topic? Simple matter. Sex before marriage or marriage before sex. It's not matter.
Bismarck says what?
Nancy, please, what is your candid opinion about this topic?
So
today Bismarck is who will tell me what to.
Okay, so we'll get there. I'll let Bismarck ask you.
Oh no! I said I'm starting from my right. Nancy first.
Senna.
You say you have to start first, like they say in the law court. Yes or no before you continue.
Why is it that when it's me, you always ask me to state yes or no?
No, it's yes or no. I know Carol. Carol doesn't have to speak. I know Carol's opinion.
Okay,
I know Aisha.
Personally, I think I will go for sex before marriage.
Sex before marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
On a more serious note.
Before you justify, Carol. Okay, so it's not fair to say I know your opinion. Which one would you go for?
I prefer marriage before sex.
Marriage before sex. Okay. Let me leave Aisha. Okay, Aisha. Sex before marriage or marriage?
When I was like Carol, I was thinking like Carol. Now I am Aisha. Today, if I haven't tried, I am not getting married. So sex before marriage.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think we have to do something, but let's stick with it. Why, Nancy?
Why? I feel that we date, you court, in an attempt to know who your partner is. Okay, you want to know everything else about the person to determine whether the two of you are compatible. Okay. Before you decide whether to marry or not.
Okay.
Then, for me, that one most important thing in the marriage, which is the sex that will help you reproduce, that one you don't want to know about that.
Okay.
It does not make sense to me.
Okay.
You see, that is why I would go for sex before marriage.
Okay.
Yes. Because that's very important. See, you can actually live with somebody with some other, I mean, small things. You can just say that, okay, this one, I can pardon this, I can pardon that. But if the sex is not good, it is not good. There's nothing you can do about it.
Okay.
You date this person for 1 year, 2 years, and then you now get married without sex, and then you are getting married, then you are now getting to know that nipa no 2 seconds. You are married already. This is your pastor telling you that no divorce. Your parents are telling you no divorce. So you are in there for better for. So you are in there. You have this one. It's 1 minute. What are you going to do about it? That's why you hear this person, a married woman cheating on the husband and all that. Because only Do you get it? Before getting into it, only how the person, or like my friend who entered the marriage and had to run because I don't even know how to put this thing, but she's not able to take the man.
Size.
Yes.
The guy is huge.
Huge. Do you get it? But if they had tried, maybe she would then know that, oh no,
this one
I can't. And this is forever thing. Okay. I can't. So no, I don't want to go in for it. Let him go and look for his size.
The person will come.
Do you get it? Simple. So all these things are the reasons I would go. And it actually helps you to identify them or establish a certain sexual identity with your partner. Do you get it? So if you are not getting all that, they say, she say if he's abusive, say if the woman is a good cook, or buadiana, say, but that one you don't want to know. You don't want to know about that one. Carol will quote the Bible for me.
Don't worry. In fact, Carol, today
heaven is the goal.
Today, heaven is the goal for the two of us.
So, Sana,
I will back you with biblical. We have tests here.
So, for me, I think, and any day, any time, I would go for sex before. Try it. Yeah, I would want to try it before I go in. I don't want to go in there and then go and then what you would say that spark, and then angels can't angels obey. What would you do?
Edu heba.
Do you get most of the heba now too? It's not helping. That one day, like there's nothing they can do about it. And say, no, what will you do at that point? Do you get it? And you be in that marriage.
If the thing cannot work, that is what they call fraud.
It's fraud, right?
It's misrepresentation.
So you get in there and you see if the thing, you are not happy with how the thing is, you are not happy with the way it is, the man does it. I'm sorry, if you are even ovulating, you want to have sex to, conceive. You don't want to go close to the man. Okay, so you be in the marriage there, you are not having sex because of the deficiencies in there. And you are not taking in seed. And then the family would come blaming you again. To men.
So you lose interest.
Sometimes, just to help your partner, you don't want to say it that radio. So you'll be in there. You are covering up for him, and you'll be in there, and you are saying, "This is our society." If two partners, like a couple, they are not giving birth, it's the woman's fault. Always. Do you get it? It's always the woman's fault. That is our society for you. For all you know, it's the man, but it's always the woman's fault. You are in there, covering up for him, and he's not working. The thing, you get
it. Stop pointing my direction. It will give people the impression that you are talking about me.
So, Sana, for me, I would go for sex before marriage. Seriously.
Great. Okay, so this is one message to back you, but Carol, don't worry. I saw this one. Somebody has sent several biblical tests. This is I haven't gotten to Bismarck yet. This is from someone who says, my female cousin who is a Jehovah's Witness got married to a man. She had to divorce barely 2 months later because of the man's size. We need to try and know what we are going to live with all the rest of our lives. Since you are for the topic, Aisha is also for the topic. Then Aisha, what do you have to add in terms of? Or you want to do your own argument?
No, don't. Me, I'm on my own. No.
Okay. No. So then let me move to Carol then. Okay. But this feels like I'm pitching 2 against 1. So if Carol is done, Aisha will come and finish Carol. It doesn't help.
That is why I always go for the position I go for.
Neutral. Okay.
But yes, you guys and your listeners will always want to know my views and Nancy, come and state your exact position.
Okay.
Now, Carol.
Yeah, the Yamiasi.
Heaven is the goal.
This is the day the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it.
In fact, Richard J says I should tell you that your reverend is watching.
You should watch.
This is the day the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. Marriage is a union between two people, and specifically from all the years that I have gone through the various curriculum activities educationally in the Ghanaian system, it has always been between a man and a woman.
Okay.
So sex before marriage or after marriage, I stand on the point that one has to have sex after marriage, not before marriage.
Okay.
Now, let's go into the word of God, which is the beginning of everything.
Okay.
When you open to Hebrews 13:4, it says that marriage is honorable and in all the bed undefiled. But whoremongers, let me take Hebrews 13:4a.
Okay.
Marriage is honorable and the bed undefiled. Let's go to Corinthians 7:2 to see what the Lord has for us. He says, avoid fornication. For you to avoid fornication, let every man have his or her own wife.
Okay.
The same Corinthians 7:19 says, if you cannot contain, then marry. Because you can't stand for you to be what? To be burned. Okay. The burning is the things people go through, especially related to men, as a result that they are not getting women to have something to do with them because they are not married, or things are very expensive for them when it comes to getting somebody to marry. So just get married and avoid fornication and avoid your body getting burned.
Okay.
It says, Corinthians 4:3-4, it says, for sanctification purpose, abstain from fornication and stay honorable. So everything that I have read here depicts that for you to have sex in marriage is the best thing one can ever have, because it's not just because you want to have it because you just want to stay even honorable, but also for sanctification purposes, for spiritual cleansing.
Okay.
Prof, there is something I want our audience or our listeners who are listening to us have to take note. When somebody gets to have sex, the person can try this. It's something that I'm saying on air for everybody to take. Whether you put on protection or not, go to the shower, whether cool or warm, whatever shower you want to take. You realize that there is some pieces of cuts that you cannot see with your eye. At that point, there has been an exchange. There has been an exchange, covenant of the blood. And regardless of whether, like I said earlier, whether you place yourself under protection, that is the use of condom or whatever, there has been a spiritual connection. And people have to also realize that the moment you get to have sex with any other person, whoever the person has had sex with in the past, automatically you have had sex with that those people. Whether you know the persons or you don't know, spiritually you also have connections. If me sitting here, I have 5 exes, and I'm coming for you, Senna, and I've had sex with those 5 exes, and I also have sex with you, automatically you have had sex with those persons. It's a spiritual thing, I'm telling you. People don't know all these things. So if you want to have sex, how many times do people who are dating normal relationship, go to the hospital to say that, okay, let's go and have DNA test to see that if we have sex and we produce a child, our blood genes, they match? How many people who are in relationship compatibility, take that into consideration? And my senior colleague here also stated that for you to know the size or whatever, let's look at the length, the breadth, the width of a baby coming out of a woman's place compared to a man. Can you also compare the weight? The way God has made women's our shape, you get it. The way I'm describing it, maybe I have to say something so that our listeners will also understand the quantum of what I'm saying. The way our private place has been designed by God, no length or breadth of a man, unless unless you are determined that you are not ready to receive certain things, or because one pair of bare man, you can compare the length and breadth and the weight and the height of a baby that is coming out of a woman's place to a man. That place faithfulness has been designed to take everything, and God has purposed it in such a way that it will take it, because it knows what after the entrance of a man's manhood into a woman's place, what it will produce at the end of the day. So if you tell me that I should rush to have sex before I marry the person, after marriage there are more rooms, there are more years to have sex. So why rush to have sex before marriage? If I've given you this point, sex itself spiritually, if you have sex with a person, the body, he says, it's a temple of the living God. So if you have sex before marriage, it's a fornication. We are not saying that we are saints or we are pure people or we are holy people and we are holier than thou. We are falling into places one way or the other. And there is the word of God also makes us to understand that there are certain people that we are telling them that, Charlie, it doesn't mean that me a virgin or I am not a virgin. So I am telling you that the master because you think that it's because me, I am telling you that this is the part, don't work on it. I worked on it, it didn't help me. Take this part. Secondly, there are so many people who have had sex before getting married, and faithfulness has become an issue. Trust has become an issue. So why would I do that?
Okay.
If we marry, there are more rooms and there are more years for sex. So why would I have sex before marriage?
Carol, great. I would like Aisha to express her opinion because I have a few questions to ask. So Aisha.
So the first thing I want to ask Carol is this. I want to ask Carol, number one.
I want to listen to your opinion.
Yes, I'm going to.
I want you to first.
No, you see.
I want you to first.
She doesn't necessarily need to answer.
Just assume that Carol.
No, she doesn't have to
speak.
answer.
No,
she
I
doesn't
want
have
to hear
answer.
You first.
Okay, she doesn't have to answer. But one, the Bible says, "For all have sinned." Let's start from there. For all have sinned. It doesn't matter how you're doing it, or where you do it, or what you do, but to him, you are still a sinner in his sight. That's number one. Now, if you are not a virgin to begin with, I wanted to find out if she was a virgin because that would have made my point clearer. If you've broken your virginity,
Carol, don't state whether you are or not.
Whoever broke your virginity, why didn't you let them marry you? You see, then you get up today and say that somebody else likes you, and you are like, well, until you marry me, you have made somebody sampled you to begin with. How many virgins do you find in town today? Secondly, there are lots of marriages that are messing up because people don't really know the state. Like Nancy said, there are girls who have had so many abortions because they were waiting to get married before they had the child. Now they are married, they don't have kids. There are men that will get up in the morning and still have the thingy up there, but their soldiers don't match. The women are so fertile. They can carry babies, they can do all of it, but the men soldiers don't match. They can't fertilize an egg. How do you know this? But for some reason, the same man can fertilize another child's egg. I say this all the time. If you're a young woman and you're having unprotected sex and you've never been pregnant, check yourself. Check yourself for the future. Because a lot of people are working out there and they have conditions that they don't even know. They don't even know. People women are like pawpaw. Some have seeds in them, some don't. Some have a lot, some don't even have at all. We are like that. But how would you know? You can actually marry a man who wouldn't mind. They love you regardless if you give them a child or not. But there are some that will stress you. Now talk about size. Like she was saying, she lied on that one. The same way some men are big and some men are small is the same way you have women who are big and women who are small. It's natural. You can find a virgin who is like this, and you can find somebody who is a prostitute on the streets of Circle, and they are like this small. It's natural. It's the elasticity of your body or how God made you. Do you understand? The truth is, you need to know. One mistake a lot of men make is that a lot of men assume that every woman likes a man who is big. That is a lie. It's not every woman who likes a man who is big. It's the connection. It's not the size of the ship. It's the motion in the ocean. It is not the size of the ship. It's the motion in the ocean.
No, we are moving into poetry.
Oh, yeah. I have this point that I wanted to make.
Okay.
So So you see, another thing is when we're saying there are men who you will go out with somebody, have sex with them one time, and you don't want to see them again. Look, no man goes into it. No man goes into a relationship, or when a man sees a woman, the first thing every man thinks about is sex. It's the visuals for a man. Now, before a man decides that they want to keep you, the first thing they do is check how your brain works. That is number one. Okay. How brainy you are, what you bring to the table. Who you are, your worth as a woman. Are you independent? What are you doing? The thing that sums it all up is the sex for a man. I'm telling you, whatever sums it up is the sex. If the sex is not good, you can lose a good man. And there are lots of women who are acting like I'm supposed to be a wife, so I can't do certain things with my husband. I can't do certain positions. That's why you're losing your men. And you'll be fighting side chicks over these things. You will lose your men over you can never marry a man that you've never had sex with. How would you know if he's the kind of person that you like sexually? Because the sex that you break your virginity with, most of the time, that's what you keep up with. That's what you tend to like. Bible says, marry as a virgin. If you marry as a virgin, and the only man I've met is you, Senna, that is all I know. I don't know anything else. But the minute I've already broken my virginity and I've moved on to the next man, comparison will start kicking. And then you realize that, I thought Senna Numbo was all that. But you meet somebody else and you realize that I am actually compatible with this person better than the other person.
Okay. Aisha, I'll be back to you shortly. Aisha, Carol, and Nancy, you've listened to the three of them. Carol is in the middle. They are on the left and the right. We are joined by Reverend Oscar Serpi, who is a pastor, counselor, life coach. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having